Yeah. Powerful, powerful. As me always say, it's always good when we exchange the frequency, the vibration, the good messages, the upliftment that each of one of us carries in within them when we always thinking right. For indeed life has no end, and as we know it, Zion is heaven. For the Lord created earth as paradise for all man, beasts, and to have plants for food. Elder Shawn, I do really have a question. As a Rasta man living out there in Guyana in the Caribbean, we brethren out here know those places of sanctuary that the Lord set up when we were being enslaved. And we managed to make them home. For indeed, this race of the melanated people falls right out of the palms of the Lord Almighty, Him Imperial Majesty and Her Imperial Majesty, King Alpha and Queen Omega. So my question is, what is it gonna take for the conscious brethren and sisters out in the diaspora, in Europe, in the Caribbean, in America and South America? What is it gonna take for them to really decide that they gotta come home and help to rebuild the destroyed fortunes and freedoms of the sovereignty of the kingdoms of Zion and kingdoms and chiefdoms? What is it gonna take for all those hoping to live into the future of what Him Imperial Majesty promised us for what is to come ahead if we stay loyal to the throne of King David, to get the brethren and sisters in the diaspora back to Zion?
My brother, respect to that. My sisters, my nation, we have to embrace each other and bring our establishment and make sure that our brothers can widen and expand themselves, because nothing on the planet none of us own if we are here learning to care by and for each other. You see, we look at things in a different level, and we look things on a whole level for a family that's willing to strive. We need to have not only Roots 9x9, but we need to have more companies and more other brothers. That's why we are wired that way. We must learn to care. We must not learn to care for ourselves. We must learn to care by and for each other. Or we must teach each other how they can establish themselves. We must teach Ugandans. We must teach Africans. We must teach the old Kenyans, Ghanaians. We must teach every one of us as Africans, Ethiopians. We must embrace that. We must show each other what you know and what I know, so we can learn and we can build a nation. Building a nation is very important and is very meaningful for each and every one, you know. You must look at it as embracing the next generation that coming forth. Because the generation that coming forth is the generation that we need, you know. So yes, We need to hear Ugandans, yeah, establishment, especially my brothers who embrace me a lot and my sisters who embrace. We must thank the Ethiopian World Federation for what they are doing. The job, great job, great job. You know, our brothers and our sisters and our elders among us, as we all are, Asians of days, looking out from a different eye and a different perspective to make this journey. As I would say, you know, I got a great Ethiopian brethren right here that I was called, you know, Lawrence. He's great in his message and the way he communicates in his soulful being, a being of a different dimension. But he's the first person that, as I always said, that I look forward and I vibrate as, you know. He always tell me Ethiopia, and I always know his journey. He's trying to make that journey back. There isn't a lot of beings that want to make that journey, that have to make that journey. But like we said, we got to reach out and help each other. And it starts with one connecting to one and not saying something and cannot deliver it. You know, it's saying something and moving towards it. We must have a unity, a unite movement for oneself so we can vibrate and make different changes. So we have to watch it at a way where we can help each other by moving some of these establishment, the skills that we develop, you know, and bring it there and help to teach my brothers and my sisters how they can establish themselves and becomes businessmen too, because none of us is big. Remember, the dollar is not what make us big. What make us big is when we can establish and live a generation that can grow with a legacy that they can live on freely, you know. And all Africans need that. We need a kind of collective understanding how we should function, you know. That's why we have to be careful of greedy, long-hearted, bad-minded, deceitful people and people who are controlling, because there are many of us who want to be leaders and heads and states of government, but we don't understand the passion and the emotions where we came from so we can deliver on the people on that level. Sometimes our leaders get lost. We put them in position and they becomes unpositionable. And we have to hold still and understand that's why we need the orders of the high priests, people who are functioning on a spiritual level and a soulful level, that what we call the ancient African, the ancient ones. So we don't deal on that level, we deal on the level what we call the soulful level. So when we vibrate on a frequency, because the spiritual plane must overstand us, because we are healers. We are ancients of days. So we're not only physical beings. So we can vibrate and help all of us.